Apple doesn't usually shake things up this hard, but 2026 might be the year they rewrite the iPhone rulebook completely. We're not just talking about faster chips or better cameras this time. Apple is changing when iPhones launch, which models come first, and yes, finally stepping into foldables. And once you see how this lineup is planned, it actually explains a lot about where Apple thinks the iPhone is heading next. Here's how it's expected to play out. The iPhone 18 family is shaping up to be massive. You've got the regular iPhone 18, a cheaper iPhone 18e, the iPhone 18 Pro, and Pro Max, an updated iPhone Air, and then the big wildcard, Apple's first ever foldable iPhone. That's more iPhones than Apple has ever launched in a single generation, and that's exactly why the launch strategy is changing. Instead of releasing everything together in September like always, Apple is reportedly splitting the lineup. The premium models, the iPhone 18 Pro, Pro Max, Air, and the new Fold, are expected to launch in September 2026. The more affordable iPhone 18 and 18e, those won't show up until spring 2027. In other words, if you want a new iPhone in the usual fall window, you'll need to pay flagship money. If you're waiting for a better deal, Apple wants you to wait a few more months. And the reason this split exists is pretty clear. The foldable isn't just a side experiment. Apple is treating it like a true high-end flagship, right alongside the Pro models. It's not replacing anything, it's adding a new tier on top. Design-wise, the iPhone 18 Pro models won't look wildly different from the current Pros at first glance. Same flat sides, same triple camera setup, same general layout. But there are subtle changes. The back glass is rumored to be more unified with the frame, ditching the two-tone look for something cleaner. There's also talk of the MagSafe area being slightly transparent, which is interesting and very Apple if they actually do it. Up front is where things get messy because nobody seems to fully agree. Apple is testing under-display Face ID, and depending on how far they've pushed that tech by 2026, the front of the phone could look very different. Best case scenario? All the Face ID hardware moves under the display, leaving just a tiny hole-punch camera and no dynamic island at all. More conservative leaks say only part of the system goes under the screen, which would mean a smaller dynamic island instead of removing it completely. There's even a rumor that the dynamic island could move to the top left corner, which would be a bold choice. If you had to bet right now, a smaller dynamic island seems like the safest outcome. Some leaks suggest it could be over 30% narrower than the current one, which would still be a noticeable upgrade without Apple taking a huge risk. The Pro Max is also expected to get thicker and heavier, potentially over 240 grams. That would make it the heaviest iPhone ever, and while that sounds bad on paper, it usually means bigger batteries and better thermals. Apple doesn't add weight unless it's getting something in return. Camera upgrades are another big focus this year. The main camera on the iPhone 18 Pro could finally get a variable aperture, letting you control how much light hits the sensor. That's huge for photography because it gives you better control over exposure and depth of field instead of letting software do everything. On top of that, Apple may switch to a new 3-layer stacked sensor developed by Samsung, which could improve dynamic range, reduce noise, and speed up image processing. There's even talk of Apple experimenting with teleconverters for better zoom, though how that would work on a phone is still a big question mark. Under the hood, this is where things get really serious. The iPhone 18 Pro models and the foldable are expected to run Apple's A20 chip, built on TSMC's 2nm process. That jump alone could bring around 15% better performance and up to 30% better efficiency compared to the previous generation. But the bigger change is how the chip is packaged. Apple may integrate RAM directly onto the same wafer as the CPU and GPU, which could improve performance, boost Apple Intelligence tasks, save space inside the phone, and even help battery life. The downside? Cost. 2nm chips are expensive, way more expensive than current ones. Some reports suggest Apple might limit these chips to higher-end models only, which could explain why the standard iPhone 18 is launching later and possibly using a different version of the A20. Connectivity is also getting an upgrade with Apple's next-gen C2 modem. This one is expected to finally support mmWave 5G and close the performance gap with Qualcomm, which is a big deal for Apple's long-term independence. So when you put it all together, this isn't just another iPhone refresh. Apple is clearly separating the iPhone into two worlds, ultra-premium devices that launch first with cutting-edge tech, and more affordable models that come later once the dust settles. And the foldable? That's Apple planting its flag in the future, not experimenting on the sidelines. Now I'm curious, do you like this split launch strategy, or does it just make upgrading more complicated? And more importantly, would you actually consider a foldable iPhone if Apple nails it? Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.